There he is, coming face to face with the tower that dreams are made of. He knows what he must accomplish here, and now all that matters is executing it. Is off on the final stage, starting a little bit slowly, but he's nicely making his way towards the end of this obstacle. Already a fourth of the way there with about 20 seconds left. He's going to need to make sure that he picks up the pace as he's nearing the halfway point of this obstacle. At that halfway point right now with half the time limit left, a great pace from yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 as he nears the top. He's in a great position to make it to the top, but he's got to make sure that he just keeps on moving. He's fighting that rhythm, gets the top, he's almost there. Hit that button, yes! Yes! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1! Kanzen Renewal! After 3 tournaments, the 4 stages of Robloxian SASUKE were conquered. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 stands as the first grand champion, achieving a feat no one has done before. But now, with one already showing that it's possible to get to the top of the mountain, anyone who thinks that they can do the same will find a much harder climb there. The Kanzen Renewal has arrived. Today, 100 competitors face a completely redesigned course. In front of them stands 10 new obstacles and many modifications. And if they want to take home the UP's 2,000 Robux prize, they'll need to be unstoppable. They'll have one shot, one goal, and one dream here on the return of the ultimate survival attack, Robloxian SASUKE. Hello everyone, my name is Jamie Dorino, and welcome to Tournament 4 of Robloxian SASUKE. The Kanzen Renewal begins today as our first 30 of the 100 competitors start their journey to becoming the second Grand Champion. This course has been completely altered since the last time you saw it in Tournament 3. Only 2 obstacles remain unchanged from then. Now, something unique about this tournament is that the running order for this tournament was randomized, meaning that you'll be seeing many notable names running earlier than they usually would. And one of those names is Mr. Tobiz. Tobiz is one of the most prolific names in all of Roblox Ninja. A member of the community for a decade, he has experienced all the highs and lows a competitor can possibly have. Tobiz's most notable accomplishment was winning Ninja Coolio Warrior in 2017, and that result would propel him into stellar results in many competitions around that time. These would develop into numerous third stage visits and golden competitor achievements. However, competing is not all that Tobiz is known for. He's also been a builder for almost as long as he's been competing, with many of his competitions being praised for their high quality and unique concepts. Most recently, he's partnered with the SASUKE nerds to build for their Roblox Ninja competition airing at some point this decade, showing that he's still got a lot of talent left in him. Another heavy hitter to look out for this episode is Lyrical Wonders. Post-seduced warrior, Lyric has also been a prominent builder within the community, with his competition currently getting ready for its 5th tournament. However, many reasons for his notoriety come from his results. Most recently, he finally broke his second stage curse when he completed Blue Ninja Warrior 21 with under a second remaining, and then followed that up with a strong showing on the 3rd. Lyric skill has translated to many competitions, with Robloxian SASUKE being one of them. For the last 2 tournaments, Lyric has been able to complete the first stage, but has yet to break through the second. Despite almost doing so in Tournament 2, he would backtrack on the result with a failure earlier on in the stage in Tournament 3. With this skill at an all-time high, could this renewal be the perfect time for such a consistent competitor to get his best run ever? Those 2 and 28 others will kick off this renewal and this tournament, just like always, on the first stage. The first stage looks considerably different than any previous tournament, with only half the obstacles returning to the stage. The 8 obstacle gauntlet begins with Boyoishi. Navigating the maze of 14 stones caused major trouble last time. In this tournament, the stones are in the same configuration as they were, but now competitors have to jump a little bit higher to the raised dismount platform. Following that is the first of 4 new obstacles, Rolling Marta. Grab onto the log and hold on as it spins down to the end of the track, but doing so will be no easy feat. Competitors will roll with the log rather than staying on top, so making sure that they stay composed and don't panic is key. Up next is Defying Gravity, relocated to the first half of the stage. Jumping between these 3 angled walls proved to be a late game threat for some competitors last time, and with a buff to mount and dismount, this is now harder than ever before. Beat that, and competitors face Twin Dia, 2 spinning diamonds where timing is everything. Finding the perfect time to jump between the 2 can quickly save time for the rest of the course, but making sure you don't slip off is also just as important. Then it is on to a Sasuke classic finally making its debut, Jump Hang. Jump from the trampoline into the net, and similar to other rope-based obstacles, competitors must click the blocks to make them collidable throughout it. Once they're actually into the net, they'll be faced with making one of two choices. Either click the blocks leading to the top of the net and ascend it, climb over and then slide down the remainder of it, or click the blocks that lead to a tightrope and get through the underside of it. Regardless of the decision, both paths advance competitors onward to the next obstacle, the Soritatsukabe. The wall has a fresh coat of paint for the Kanzen Renewal, but the concept of running up the concave wall to reach the top remains the same. The barrier at the top of the wall has been modified to be fully vertical now, however, rather than being angled with the obstacle. Following that is the penultimate obstacle, Key Change. Dash across the piano and reach the end, but doing so is not that simple. Competitors will need to be wary of their placement on the piano because once they make contact with it, it will drop from right underneath them. All that remains after that is Swinging Forest, now the last test of the competitors for the stage. The obstacle has gone through a transformation, now having 7 sets of ropes instead of 5, and now every single transition brings the competitor higher up into the air. Once it gets to the top, all competitors have to do to finish is get a huge swing to the finishing platform. Get there and get there quickly. Despite this time limit being the same as it was last tournament, this time limit is a whole lot stricter than ever before. These 100 have the hardest road to the buzzer of Robloxian SASUKE history, but they are more than capable of doing it. The end of the first stage. Doing so has never been an easy feat of this tournament. It's going to be harder than ever. 100 competitors have returned to Mount Midoriyama, and kicking off this tournament will be number 1, Frosty Snowflake. Frosty, known as the host of Rise Ninja Warrior, one of the most well-known Roblox Ninja competitions in recent years. They're not really that known for competing in competitions, however, they have had some pretty stellar results in the past. This includes 2 total victories, 1 in Title Warrior and 1 in Yasuke. However, a lot of those results have not happened in a lot of years, and a lot of results that have happened recently have not gone that well for Frosty. So, Frosty, hopefully gonna try and start this tournament off on a good start here. Not really feeling excited for what it looks like, but Frost is gonna need to make sure that they set the example for every single competitor afterwards. This renewal, they will be essentially the test subject here. This first stage, so difficult. Getting ready now on that starting line. This is going to be the first run of the Kanzen Renewal. Frosty Snowflake has begun. Now here comes Boyoishi, these 14 stones. Gotta find a correct path here, but also gotta make sure that you go fast a little bit. Frost is not really doing that here. They're taking some time here to make sure that they stay composed on each of these stones, and also taking some time to jump between the two. While it did get them through the obstacle, look at the time. They've already wasted almost 20 seconds, and they're chatting in between completing it. But this is going to be our first look at Rolling Marta. They're going to need to stay composed here, and you can see them walking back slightly on each of these rotations. That works out for them here, and now they are going to go on to Defying Gravity here. You can tell that they're pretty excited by that, saying Cowabunga. Now, heading into Defying Gravity, this third transition eliminated a few competitors last time. Going for it, didn't even get the jump! Frosty Snowflake, unable to get through Defying Gravity. 3 obstacles down and unfortunately can't get through it. You can tell that they're a little bit upset by that, but still, what a great first run for Frosty Snowflake. This shows that they still have a lot of potential in Roblox Ninja, and hopefully we can see them improve in the future. But as for the first run of the Kanzen Renewal, this was definitely a great starting off point. Was able to get through 1 new obstacle, beat a returning one, but unfortunately just could not complete Defying Gravity. Since it's been moved earlier onto the course, I think we could see a lot more victims on it. And as I say that, Mark Stickluke walks up to the starting line. Competitor number 2 getting ready for this course, competed last in Robloxian SASUKE 2, where he went down on the quintuple steps. Boy, we see a lot different of a threat here. It's gonna have a lot more jumps, but it's gonna need to take a lot more effort to get through it. This obstacle, gonna go maybe with a sideways approach, it looks like, for Mark Stickluke. Taking some time to line up each of these jumps. It is a smart move to make sure that you get through. Mark very clearly wants to get a personal best here, but he's gotta make sure that he's also conscious about the time. That's something that we also saw with Frosty in the last run. We gotta make sure that these competitors are going at a consistent pace, because this time limit is not going to be one that rewards slow time, but he's able to get through regardless. And now it's on to Rolling Marta. What? Mark just jumps over the log. Oh wow, that's a completely unexpected fail. Looks like he was trying to jump onto one of those parts, but just didn't realize that it was Can't Collide Falls and just phased right through it.
Hello there, my name is Blockist2, and I've been doing a lot of practice on this course, and I certainly hope that it comes into play. I really hope I don't fall early, and I would like to get a buzzer. That'd be nice.
So Blocky has a lot of high hopes here for his first time here at Robloxian SASUKE. Blocky has been a member of the community for a long time and used to have a lot of good results earlier on in the 2020s. However, not really seeing that as many highs as he did back then. So Blocky wants to get a good result here. Now, next up on Boyoishi, taking some time to start before going onto the obstacle. Want to make sure that, I guess, he just has the correct jump height. But look at the pace through Boyoishi. That is the ideal pace that we want to see on competitors. And now onto Rolly Marta. Actually gets onto the log, unlike Mark Stickluke. And now it's going to be a slow rotation down to the bottom. Get to the end. He's got that there. And now it's going to be the second competitor of this tournament to attempt defying gravity. Going to line up each of these jumps, heading into the next one a little bit low. Might want to go a little bit higher. Okay, he's going a little bit higher now. Trying to find the sweet spot to go to the next one. Flipping around, his character lands that. Okay. Now just gotta get the dismount onto it, and there we go. That is a clear, and now we're gonna get our first look at Twin Dia. Gotta get a quick jump, and he gets a quick jump right off the bat. Already onto the second diamond, and now just has to get the dismount off of that, and that's exactly what he's done as well. Jump hang up next. Gotta get a big jump here onto this net. 26 seconds left. Gonna need to keep going quickly up this net. Ascending towards the top, getting closer and closer with every jump. Blocking, yes, Bubble No 2. Unfortunately, loses his stability on the net. Tried to go higher, but unfortunately just could not find that next block and sent him down into the water. Fell through, but still, it was a great run. That is the best run that we've seen so far. The first attempt and clear Twin Dia. That deserves a lot of recognition. Muffin Power 1, 2, 3, 4 wearing the same number as she did last time. Completely random through the lobby, but now she's already into uncharted territory. Final two Boyoishi, now into Rolling Marta, trying to get it to roll, can't get it through. Oh. Trying to get that first roll, but unfortunately just could not stay on the log. John has flight, gets to the obstacle he failed last turn at Boyoishi, and now is getting ready to come to Rolling Marta. Just saw Muffin go down immediately onto it, but John's got a lot better of a strategy so far, but goes down towards the end. Could not stay composed on the log and splashes down. Inoya, a newcomer here at Robloxian SASUKE, getting ready to start his attempt here. Nervous for this first obstacle, but going at a quick pace, and it costs him! Inoya unable to get through and a stumble on that stone is what ultimately what cost him. Up next in the course is someone who, if it wasn't for the lottery, would be a lot later on in the course. This is Poo Lover 12345, better known as Tons. Tons back in Robloxian SASUKE 2 almost completed the first stage, but last tournament backtracked just a little bit when he failed Swinging Force. But Tons, a very capable competitor in this competition and many others. He has proven his worth that he could very well be the first to break through not only just the jump hang, which is so far undefeated, but honestly the first stage as a whole. But getting through that will also mean he has to get through his nemesis Swinging Force, which is now the 8th obstacle rather than the 4th. And as I say that, he's already halfway through Rolling Marta. Now getting towards the dismount here, going for it right now, got that dismount here. And now to find gravity, this is an obstacle that he was not able to attempt last tournament. Brand new last time, it was in the 6th obstacle position, but he's able to get it very effortlessly right there. 50 seconds left as he enters Twin Dia right now. No, he's not going for it on this transition. He's going to take another rotation on the diamond. That's going to eat up some time, but he's able to get onto that next transition. It works out for him. And now is heading over onto Jump Hang. Now he's already through 4 obstacles, so he's been able to better his result from last tournament, is officially towards the back half of the course. Heading up Jump Hang, you just gotta make sure that you don't slip off. Like, block, he slips! Oh, but he saves it! Wow, that was incredibly impressive. But now just has to slide down and head over to Storytop's Bay. This is not gonna help his time. Gotta get up really quickly. He's able to get up the wall in 1. Okay. Now has 2 obstacles left. First, like a key change. Gotta find that sweet spot. He's able to get that right there. But 10 seconds left in the Swinging Forest. He needs to start hustling. Poo Lover 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Tons is not going out at the fastest pace. 1 obstacle left, just a few sets of ropes. But he's gonna time out as he falls into the water. Poo Lover 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is another competitor down on the first stage. But he has been the closest out of every single competitor. He very easily could have been the first, but his time management on this first stage was just not the best. Was able to get through the first few obstacles pretty quickly. However, that extra rotation that he took on Twin Dia was ultimately one of the first things that set him back time-wise. Another thing that set him back time-wise was that slip on Jump Hang, and while it was impressive that he was able to recover, that set him back big time. And he was able to finally get onto the Swinging Forest for the first time since Tournament 2 after missing the mouse. But still, those transitions, he ran out of time, and right as the time expired, ultimately went down on it. So unfortunately, Tons, 3rd tournament in a row out on the first stage, but him getting this deep into the run order shows that this first stage is possible. And up next on the course is someone who has been able to beat the first stage in the past. This is the return of Makoto Nagano 21. Took last tournament off, but in Tournament 2 in his debut, he made it to Balance Tank on the 2nd stage. That result landed him within the top 10 for Tournament 2. So he has a lot of skill here going into his sophomore season. Nagano could very well be the first to get through to the end, but many of these obstacles are completely different. Since he missed out on last tournament, Boiwishi is completely new to him, but very quickly can get through that obstacle. It's almost as if he didn't take any time away. But Makoto Nagano, 21, already into Rolling Marta, and now slowly but surely getting towards the end after a few spins. And now Defying Gravity, another obstacle that debuted last tournament that he just would not have a chance to attempt. Got to the third one, and now to the dismount as well. Okay, Makoto Nagano, 21, heading into Twin Dia. Another competitor going to take another turnaround here. Wants to get onto that next one, but he jumped too early! Makoto Nagano, 21, loses his first stage clear streak and unfortunately cannot make it 2 tournaments in a row for him. And this new Twin Dia takes out his first victim, Makoto Nagano, 21. Just a missed time between those 2 diamonds is all it takes for him to be out on the first stage. And up next on the course, it is number 9, She's VIP. As per tradition, she is wearing number 9. He was exempt from the lottery, meaning that he was guaranteed to get that number. Last tournament, finally was able to get through the Silk Slider after 2 straight tournaments of failing it when he went down on Swinging Forest. If he wants to get revenge on this obstacle, he's got to go all the way to the 8th position. But if he wants revenge on that position, he's going to need to get through Twin Dia. She is the first competitor so far in the tournament to have 4 appearances competing in every tournament. One of the most deserving competitors in Robloxian SASUKE, get far. Trained a lot for this tournament here, already through 2 obstacles. Got through Rolling Logs. It's similar to Silk Slider, which he did fail for 2 tournaments in a row. Able to get that, and now is heading in to Defying Gravity. Gotta get this next one. Got that as well. Okay. Now here is Twin Dia. The position where he failed last time. Oh, he's gonna go straight into that. That was risky. And gonna go straight for the dismount. Wow! He just barely made that dismount. Any later, and he would have for sure come up short. But now, She's VIP is the next competitor into Jump Hang. And it looks like we are going to get our first look here at the underside of this obstacle. Tightrope very thin. Going to go a little bit slow as he navigates his way through this obstacle. It's a smart move to make sure you don't slip. But She's VIP still slips off the obstacle. Unfortunately, the first competitor to attempt the underside will not be the first to complete it. Decided to go forward. Probably would have had better luck going sideways, but she is still a great run. For the second tournament in a row, is able to achieve a new personal best. And that improvement is stellar to see. On the starting line right now is one of Roblox Ninja's most famous competitors. This is Mr. Tobiz. Tobiz, one of the few who can say that they've been able to complete a Ninja Warrior course, winning Ninja Coolio Warrior 16 back in 2017. Got the final stage on his shirt, obviously wants to get there, but we get to see a single competitor get through this first stage. So Tobiz has a long road ahead of him, but Tobiz is one of the most capable. Despite being in the community forever, he has yet to show signs of rust. Tobiz! As I say that, just missteps right there on that 4th stone on Boiwishi. What? What? Tobiz! This is a result that you would almost never see out of a competitor like him. Tobiz, such a consistent competitor, even up to now. Always doing really good, but today, on his debut performance, 1 obstacle down. Up next in the course is one of the most prolific competitors in Japan's Roblox Ninja scene. That person is the Taiyaki Ninja, Taya 22222. In just his second appearance on the competition SK, Taya let his name be known. He was able to clear the first, second, and third stages with ease and eventually found himself at the bottom of the final stage. Taya's breakout run was already spectacular, but he continued to soar. He climbed to the top and achieved Kanzen Renewal, becoming one of a select few to win an Obby Creator Ninja competition. However, since that point, Taya has not reached the same highs that he did in Tournament 8. With 2 first-stage failures within the last 3 tournaments, his post-Kanzen Renewal run has been a bit disappointing. However, his run in SK10 still showed that he could deliver, as he reached the 3rd stage once again, but unfortunately could not make it to the back half. Taya is one of RNW Japan's most notable stars, and now he's ready to make his debut in a non-Obby Creator competition. Now, Obby Creator's mechanics are a whole lot different than anything outside the game, mainly focusing on conveyors, reaction times, spinning objects, and so many of these obstacles here are going to test these yet to have mastered, and these are going to be things like swinging-based obstacles, so this is going to be one of the most different obstacle courses that Taya has ever attempted, but again, he has been able to achieve Kanzen Renewal in other competitions, so that means that he is more than capable of doing it here. Already making his way quickly through not quickly through Boiwishi, but definitely efficiently, getting through that obstacle, and now heading on to Rolling Marta. This is an obstacle that you see in a lot of Obby Creator competitions. Different mechanics here, though. You're rolling with the log now. So gonna quickly get to the bottom there through those first 2 obstacles in about 30 seconds, but he's taking some time to celebrate between each of these obstacles. While I do appreciate that dedication, that is not gonna help his time. We've already seen 1 timeout on this course. We've only seen 1. So we could be seeing a second one here from Taya if he just does not pick up the pace. Trying to get to the end of Defying Gravity right now. Heading towards the next one. He's got that right there. But 30 seconds left for these final 5 obstacles. Time is not looking good for Taya here. Taking a lot of rotations here on Twindaya. This is not going to help his time at all. Might want to go for it here. He's able to go for it right there. Taya gets the dismount obstacle, and he's finally halfway through the course, but here comes the klaxon. This is not going to do good. He is still not even onto the jumping itself, on the trampoline. But there we go, he's able to get onto it right there. But time is going to expire for Taya on just the 5th obstacle. Jumping is ultimately what does the Taiyaki Ninja in. Out on the first stage, and it looks like, yeah, he's realized that he is out of time. Gonna slide down towards the end of the obstacle. Unfortunately, unable to get through the first stage, but still a fair better run than most. On the starting line right now is Racer 2 Flubber 03, better known as Totally Normal. Totally Normal took last tournament off, but when the last time we saw them back in Tournament 2, they were able to best their result from Tournament 1, going on to Silk Slider. Now today, those first 2 obstacles are brand new for last tournament and this tournament. Warrior She debuted last time, Rolling Martha debuted this tournament. So 2 new foes are going to be in effect here for Totally Normal, but wow, look at the pace there. Quickly through that obstacle, going forward rather than sideways. That does work out for Totally Normal here, as they're now the next competitor on to Rolling Marta, but having some trouble getting it started. Able to get the log moving now though, and now just has some rotations down, big air there, able to survive Totally Normal. Now onto uncharted territory here on Defying Gravity. This is the farthest they've ever been able to make it. Now getting ready to size up the transition here between the 2nd and the 3rd, going for it. Oh, they had it! Totally Normal had that transition for just a split second. Able to make contact with the 3rd wall, but just could not stay on. And that is the closest call that we've seen on Defying Gravity. This tournament, he could have been able to get through. So unfortunate. Now, gearing up for their first attempt at Robloxian SASUKE is Spicy Potatoes 2. Got an interesting outfit here on the starting line. But, you know, outfits really don't determine the results here. We've seen a lot of competitors with interesting results, usernames, whatever, do pretty good on the course. So, can't really rule out Spicy Potatoes here. Or, well, they're taking some time here getting through this first obstacle. Already 10 seconds gone, but I'm appreciating this little bit of a slow approach here. As they get through the end of it, there we go. That's a clear on the first obstacle. 1 down, 7 to go here for Spicy Potatoes 2. And they fall off of Rolling Marta. That is not the first time we've seen that today. They actually made contact with the log, but just walked right off of it. I'm assuming they might have thought it would just automatically roll. You gotta get that thing rolling, and then you gotta get yourself comfortable on it. But Spicy Potatoes 2, unfortunately, does not do that, and that's gonna send them out on the 2nd obstacle. And now it's time for a returning face at Robloxian SASUKE and Roblox Ninja in general. This is Bowling Ninja. Here for his 4th attempt at Robloxian SASUKE, he is a Roblox Ninja regular in almost every competition you will be seeing him run. Last tournament had his best attempt at Robloxian SASUKE when he just barely failed Whirlpool right at the dismount. Could not get onto it. So, Bowling has been on an upward trajectory here at Robloxian SASUKE, every tournament doing better than the one he has done before. So hopefully today he can continue that here. But again, this is a renewal. So many brand new obstacles and modifications. So if he wants to be able to get through with this 3rd obstacle, he needs to face Defying Gravity. A completely different threat from Whirlpool. Now gotta get this next transition, and he's got that! Bowling Ninja has officially given himself a personal best here. Now has Twindaya in front of him going straight for that transition. Bowling Ninja, it works out for him. 47 seconds left. He's on a great position here to become the first to get through this back half here. Gotta get onto this mount of jumping. He's got that. And now we're gonna be seeing him attempt the ascent. Doesn't want to go out in similar weighted cheese when he went on the underside. So, gotta get to the top of this. Got that. And now we're gonna be seeing Soratotsuka Bay. And he is in a lot better of a time than we saw Tons have earlier. So, 24 seconds left as he steps Soratotsuka Bay in 1. Lining up this transition here on keychains. Going for it. Got that perfectly. Wow. And now look at the time. 15 seconds left for Bowling Ninja here. Now just has 7 ropes to maneuver himself through. Klaxon is gonna sound. Just keep on his composure! No, bowling! Unfortunately, that is going to be it for bowling. He had the time in the bag here. Unfortunately, just could not execute, and this is an obstacle that he's yet to attempt in competition. Never got to face it, and unfortunately, the time he actually does get to face it, it's its hardest iteration. On that transition, just got caught up, did not angle his character enough, and could not connect to it. And unfortunately, Bowling Ninja is going to be the second competitor unable to get through Swinging Forest, but still, a great run here. Best result so far. Jackson Gamer is someone who does ninja in real life alongside Roblox, truly a double threat here. Already through the first 3 obstacles and now is getting ready to attempt Twin Dia. These Twin Diamonds are so difficult if you don't time it right. He's going straight for it and forward, and that's going to cost him. Jackson Gamer unable to get through. Bryce Spirit 0504 has had a lot of concerns for defying gravity, but he's able to get through it, and you can tell he's incredibly excited for that. However, a lot of his practice went to defying gravity, resulting in Twin Dia. He's not got a lot of practice on that, and that's going to cost him there. Unfortunately, that lack of practice hurts him. Dips fan, better known as Surf, has been going incredibly fast here. Already through the first 2 obstacles, and look at the pace here of defying gravity. We're going to see a clear on this obstacle. No, it's not! We're not going to see a clear on it! He goes down dismount! What? That is such a shocking failure!
I hate the first obstacle. If I beat the first obstacle, I'll be happy with it. I don't really care for the rest of the obstacles. I just want to beat one.
Thought he was retiring last tournament, but Wubsy AUTTP is back for attempt number 3, and it goes bad! Oh no! Wubsy AUTTP Cyan unable to get through the first obstacle yet again. Coming off of a top 3 finish in Balloon Ninja Warrior 21 is Blaze Powder. Blaze made it all the way to the 3rd stage in that competition. However, Robloxian SASUKE, he's yet to have that luck. Last tournament on Whirlpool, got caught up on the last cyclone and just ultimately flubbed the dismount. But Blaze has steadily been improving with each attempt, going from a first obstacle fail in Tournament 2 to that 3rd obstacle fail in Tournament 3. So there is steady improvements with every run. Plus, that run in Balloon Ninja Warrior 21 shows that he is capable of making it far. That tournament was also a renewal. So there are so many factors here coming into Blaze's run here on his 3rd attempt that could ultimately help him out here, and so far it is. He's already through 2 obstacles and now heading straight into defying gravity. Almost went down on that dismount, but he's able to get through that, and that's through the 3rd obstacle. That gives him a personal best as well. And Blaze is not going to stop, it looks like. Look at this pace from Blaze Powder. Already through half of the course with over 45 seconds left on the clock. Now getting into jump hang, and that was a close call there. Almost went down there on the mount onto it, but he's going to slide down and now head into Soritatsuka Bay. And he is in a lot better position that we've seen so far both the other competitors make it into. So now onto key change. That was a close call. He decided to jump really late into that. But regardless, 1 obstacle remains here for Blaze Powder. On his 3rd appearance, he might be able to get it. No, he doesn't. Blaze! The 3rd to attempt Swinging Forest on his 3rd appearance, 3rd time, could not be the charm for Blaze Powder here. The next competitor out on Swinging Forest, but that almost couldn't have been it. He could have failed key change. He jumped so incredibly late, and that caused the keyboard to start to react incredibly quickly. So by the time he jumped, he just barely was able to get himself onto that landing platform. But thankfully he was able to survive, but Swinging Forest was not a successful story for him. Blaze Powder, unfortunately, got caught up on the rope, got into a climbing animation, and that caused him to come up short of the next ascending rope. And that is so unfortunate, but Blaze, his trajectory still shows that he is improving with every single attempt. Getting ready on the starting line right now is the 20th competitor to attempt the 1st stage. This is Hadaku's. Hada, a newcomer to this competition, and honestly, probably Roblox Ninja in general. We have not seen what they can do. However, they are incredibly confident in what they are able to do. So, this is a chance for Hada to show what they are made of here at Robloxian SASUKE, but that is going to be it for Hadaku's first run. And it looks like they were not expecting that whatsoever as well. Just missteps there, unfortunately could not get the transition from the 1st to 2nd stone, and Hadaku's first attempt is already over. Walking up to the starting line is First King Marble, formerly known as Marble Legend 2011. Now, Marble last tournament went down on Boyoishi, but he has a little bit of advantage on his side. This obstacle mainly remains mostly unchanged for this tournament. The only difference is that dismount, which he did not get to attempt last time. So, First King Marble has a chance to get his revenge here on an obstacle that has been majorly unchanged. Marble going a little bit slowly through this. Oh, and I take that back! Marble going incredibly quickly there between that 4th and 5th stone. That was incredibly risky, but it gets him through that obstacle in about 20 seconds. Good for him, and now he is going to get his first attempt here at a second obstacle. Rolling Marta. Oh, and he jumps right. He doesn't jump off the back, but he walks off the back right there. Looked like he was anticipating it to spin, but just could not figure out the best way to handle that obstacle, and that is a shame for Marble Legend 2011, but still, it is a personal best here, showing that he is continuing to improve. Up next in the course is one of the most famous competitors in all of Roblox Ninja, making his debut on Robloxian SASUKE, it's Fipu. Fipu, or better known as Phil, has remained a huge star within the community since the early days of it. His consistency from then has continued until now, with him running strong runs in every competition he competes in. Despite many of his most notable runs happening years ago, his everlasting presence within the community has made him one of the most popular within it. However, Roblox isn't all of Phil's ninja endeavors, as he is a 3-time veteran of American Ninja Warrior, competing on seasons 11, 13, and 17. His debut season was spectacular, as he was able to advance to the national finals as a rookie, all while battling a large amount of anxiety leading up to every run. That determination continued throughout the rest of the season, eventually going down on the jumping spider in stage 1. Despite the great performances, Phil would take some time away from the sport following his sophomore season before eventually returning in season 17 alongside some friends, where he would complete the qualifying course and hit his second buzzer, advancing him to the semifinals. Phil's legacy in both real life and Roblox is incredibly spectacular and inspiring, showing that dreams can come true and you can keep excelling in things that you are passionate about. And Phil, the best example of that here. Now, finally making his debut at Robloxian SASUKE. This is a competition that he's expressed interest in and competing in the past, but just the dates have never aligned. So Phil couldn't have picked a better tournament to begin here. This is a renewal. Phil has exceeded in renewals in the past, thinking right back to Ninja Warrior Roblox 12. He was the only competitor to make it to the 3rd stage in that tournament, which was honestly one of the most extreme renewals that many competitors had seen in all of Roblox Ninja up until that point. Phil incredibly capable here at Robloxian SASUKE, and while many competitors may say that he's past his prime, I can honestly disagree. Phil, one of the strongest competitors in Roblox Ninja still, years after he began. And as I'm saying that, he's already getting through the first 3 obstacles with a very quick time as well. Got Twin Dia up in front of him, one of the newer obstacles that was debuted in Ninja Warrior, so not had a lot of time to practice on it, but still, regardless, able to get through that and advances to the halfway point of the stage. 30 seconds left over 30 seconds left actually, for these final 4 obstacles. Phil going very quickly and efficiently through, and we're going to be seeing the underside here. Haven't seen this since since Cheese. Will Phil be able to be the first to get through it? And he is! 20 seconds left for Fipu here for Sword Tatsuke, and he gets up into 1. Okay, now 2 obstacles left. Key change is the first of 2. He jumps too early! Phil! He jumps immediately as he gets onto the piano, and that's gonna send him out on key change, the first competitor today out on that obstacle. And if he just had a better strategy on that, he would have been able to clear. Looking back at it, he had a great start onto the obstacle. He had a great placement on the keyboard. However, he decided to jump immediately once he made contact with it. The best way to get the best strategy on this, asking with competitors like Bowling Ninja in the past, you want to glide on those keys. You want to make sure that you have some time on those keys before going straight for it. Bill just went straight for that dismount, and that ultimately caused him to come up short. But still, what a great run here from Phil. On his first attempt at Robloxian SASUKE, he was almost able to hit a buzzer. On the starting line is the return of XX Usin. You might remember Andrew as the first competitor to ever run Robloxian SASUKE, and he went down on Swinging Force back in Tournament 1. It has been an incredibly long time since Andrew has been on this course. Almost every obstacle has been changed. There are only 2 obstacles on this stage that remain at least remotely similar to when he last attempted it. But he's gonna go down almost instantly on Boyoishi. Wow! And you can tell that he did not expect that either. Wow! Andrew, a competitor who, honestly, I thought could have made it back to Swinging Forest, is out just 2 jumps into the first stage. And this is a failure that is incredibly surprising. On the first stage starting line, getting some moral support from PrjRoman is the next competitor to attempt the stage. This is Antonimator. Antonimator, a newcomer to the course, but he has been trained by PrjRoman. Last tournament, PrjRoman trained someone else, and that was known as Selectus Felonus, who went down on Silk Slider, but PrjRoman has a lot of success here at Robloxian SASUKE. If you might remember, he made it to the second stage back in Tournament 2. So success is something that PrjRoman has, and he is hoping that it will rub off here on Antonimator, his second protege to attempt the Robloxian SASUKE course. Now has Rolling Marta in front of him to face. This is in the same position as Silk Slider was able to get through that, and now is getting ready to attempt Defying Gravity here. Now getting ready for this wrap here. Oh, he just barely gets that! Antonimator stays alive here at Robloxian SASUKE, just barely. Works out for him here, but now is getting ready to face Twin Dia and taking a lot of time here at the starting line. Wants to make sure that he gets a good rotation. However, that's just going to build up nerves that's going to cost him. Antonimator takes too much time on the starting line, and that's going to send him out on Twin Dia. Just could not find the right timing on the obstacle. And yeah, you can tell that he's very confused on how to do that one as well. Just unfortunately could not deliver on this obstacle. Another one of PrjRoman's proteges goes down. And with Antonimator's fail, we have officially set the record for the most amount of consecutive first stage failures with 24. Last tournament, that record was set when Jacuzzi cleared as runner 24. Yet to see a single competitor get to the buzzer this time. But up next, runner 25, rounding off this first quarter of athletes, is Lyrical Wonders. Lyric, for the last 2 tournaments, has been able to complete the first stage. So, if there was anyone that would be able to complete the first stage, Lyric is the guy. He is trying to become the second competitor behind Yas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 to complete the first stage for 3 tournaments in a row. And with this being a renewal, this is going to be harder than it's ever been. But Lyric, one of those competitors that you can always count on to perform incredibly well. And so far, we are seeing that right here through those first 3 obstacles in 25 seconds. And now getting ready for Twin Dia. Oh, jumping a little bit late there. But he's able to get onto that second diamond despite a little bit of a wonky technique. But now it's just this dismount, and he's got that as well. Halfway through the course, 4 obstacles gone, 4 obstacles left to do for Lyrical Wonders as he sets himself into jump hang. Oh, tries to go up there. Gets a little bit of a rebound, but he's going to maintain his composure, thankfully. And now, slowly but surely, getting himself up to the top of that net. Nice job, Lyrical Wonders. 30 seconds left, just under that now for Sori Tatsukabe. Trying to get up it in one. Every single competitor has gotten up at this wall in 1 attempt. That is incredibly impressive, and he gets through key change, which Fipu just failed. So now, 17 seconds left. No, Lyric! As I was saying that, he was on such a good pace to clear. But then it is just the Swinging Forest, an obstacle that he has had no problems with in the past. That is the one that's gonna take him out. This is absolutely as shocking for him, and it looks like he's even surprised by this himself. Lyric, another victim to this brutal first stage. And now, walking up to the starting line, this is Roblox King 361, better known as Lucas. Lucas, another one of the newcomers here, attempting this first stage, hoping to have his big break. He's going to be kicking off the second quarter of athletes here, and he's gone pretty quickly here through Boyuishi. That is a technique that we've yet to see out of a lot of competitors. A lot of competitors taking that first obstacle pretty slowly, but Lucas looks like he has a need for speed here as he's tackling Rolling Marta. Getting these rotations fairly efficiently, got that dismount as well, and now getting ready for Defying Gravity. Actually taking a little bit of time here as he lines up that first transition, but on that second and third transition, gets that one a lot quicker than the first and second. And this is going to set him in a lot better of a time here. Oh, and he's going straight for that transition too! Roblox King 361, another competitor making the halfway point of this first stage. Jump hang is the next threat for him to face, going for that mount. He's able to land that right there. And now it looks like he is going to be going up onto this net. We've seen a lot of competitors go up. Only 2 competitors have gone the underside of this obstacle, taking some time there as he gets through the net, and is now another competitor here to get onto the Sori Tatsukabe. Doesn't get on his first attempt. The first competitor to show some struggle here with this obstacle. Gonna need to get up it on this one of these next few attempts though if he wants to get a clear, but not having that much luck here. Getting more and more attempts here, but still not much success on this obstacle, and the klaxon is starting to sound. You can hear it. And that is definitely going to mess with Lucas here. 2 seconds left. He might want to try one more time, but it's not looking good for Lucas. Another competitor out on this brutal first stage. The second competitor, the first competitor since Tournament 2 to run out of time on Sori Tatsukabe. The 4th first stage timeout overall. Lucas, so unfortunate to see him go out here. Another competitor out because of time. Oko Time to Win has already done better than he did last tournament, besting Boyuishi and now getting ready to face Rolling Marta. Having some trouble, it looks like getting that log started. God, why did he jump? Sulky jumps on the log and loses all stability. Why did he do that? He's out. And ES 5 has already done better than his attempt last tournament when he filled the mount onto Boyuishi. And now is quickly getting his way through Rolling Marta. Approaching the dismount, but he loses stability. Didn't stay centered on that log, and that's going to send him into the water. Blue Tide's RBLX hoping that fourth time is the charm for him, but he has gone down on a second obstacle before, back when the Silk Slider was new. So, hopefully with Rolling Marta beat a new obstacle. And as I say that, he doesn't even get through the first spin, he falls just right off that immediately. Walking up to the starting line is the 30th competitor to attempt the first stage. This is Shonen Lover, better known as Zoo. Zoo, for the last 2 tournaments, has gone down on Whirlpool. Last tournament actually did a little bit worse than he did in Tournament 2, where in Tournament 2, he failed to jump between the first and second Cyclone on the obstacle, but Tournament 3, not the similar story when he failed traversing the first Cyclone. So, regressed a little bit, hoping that he can not regress this tournament. But again, this brand new course could offer anything. If he wants to get revenge on a third obstacle, he will need to beat Defying Gravity, which has so far been proving itself to be a very tricky obstacle for our competitors who have attempted it. Rolling Marta, the next obstacle for him to face, not been going at one of the fastest paces so far. It took almost 20 seconds to get through Boyuishi. So, if he wants to clear, he's going to need to be able to pick up the pace. And as I say that, Zoo doesn't complete the obstacle. He doesn't jump at the end of Rolling Marta, and it looks like he's completely oblivious to the fact that he's out. Oh wow, and yeah, and there he goes on Defying Gravity, but he still fails Rolling Marta. When he was going for that dismount, he needed to get a jump because he walked off the log, and when he did that, never made contact with the top of the landing platform. Instead, bounced off the side, jumped landed into the water, and unfortunately, that's going to disqualify him. And yeah, Zoo now walking over to the Rolling Marta, realizing what just went down there. You can tell that is so heartbreaking to see. Day 1 of Robloxian SASUKE 4 is over, and this renewal is clearly not holding anything back. Despite some skilled competitors running today, these extreme modifications to the course proved to be too much for every single one of them. As the first time we close out an episode with no finishers. The first stage is going to be one of the toughest first hurdles in Roblox Ninja, as we saw many competitors get close to hitting the buzzer, but unfortunately none of them could actually do it. This sets a grim outlook for the rest of the tournament, as we're now on the longest drought without a clear in Robloxian SASUKE history. Each of the 8 obstacles took out at least one competitor, with Rolling Marta taking out the most, with 9. As we enter the final 2/3 of competitors to run, the question of who, if any of them, can complete this course will only become more intense. And in the next episode, the largest group of competitors will attempt to become the first to do so. This group contains many notable names in Roblox, including Bubba Ace 37, the host of Ninja Warrior of Roblox, Turtwig 5943, who is coming off of his second third stage appearance in a row and a second place finish. Volnia, one of the most consistent in Robloxian SASUKE, who is looking for his third consecutive first stage clear, and K-Fly100, one of the most dominant and capable players in Roblox Ninja. Those 4 and 36 others in next episode. Until then, this is Jamie Dorino signing off. We'll see you next time for Robloxian SASUKE.